Check, check.
We are alive and live.
Live and live. You mean
We
live
are
and
alive
alive?
and live.
All you come in, all you come in this morning. Good morning to
Whoa.
everybody joining us this morning. Good morning, Christina. Good morning, Win Column team. Good morning, Conversations with Jay. Good morning to all. Give me 1 second. Just grab my coffee. What's going on, C?
I'm good, man. Just, here. Uh, I got this cool light I wanted to show you. They came to the community and had out these solar lights. So I'm trying to use it like one of those lights that they use for when you're doing live streams. But it's a solar light.
Oh, dope. So
Yeah.
it charges? Does it hold
Yeah.
it holds a charge?
I just have it pointed to my window and it um has a little mini panel on it. So
They don't have power, right?
yeah, in the main cities they do, but yeah,
Gotcha. When do you think that people are going to get power?
I don't know, man. Like they still haven't even come to our community. Um, they said that they're kind of like facing some kind of minor setbacks because whenever they put up light pole, like some the wooden light poles, people cut them down during the night. I don't know why people are doing that, but that's like making things take longer than they should. So
Gotcha.
I think that that things are starting to go back to normal now because they put on they put out a notice that we won't be getting any more food distributions on the 13th, and the helicopters are coming, and also a lot of the roads are cleared up and stuff. So yeah, what they've been doing now is just handing out water and stuff like that because they put out a notice saying that you can't go to the river because and drink the river water, or you still can't drink the rainwater and stuff like that. So they're still handing out the jugs of water and stuff like that.
I've got you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, look, we'll continue to keep you guys in our prayers. Slowly but surely, as long as you guys are making progress, I guess that's the most important part. Which just reminds me of what I was reading this morning, which is I was reading the book Winning again. And it was the part where you talked about, when you take that bus ride to the parade, that same bus picks you up after the parade. But instead of saying parade on the front of the bus, it says hell as the destination. Do you get it or no?
Yeah, that's wicked.
Yeah, because that's how winning is. You win and then you have to do it all again, right? You got to do it all over again. You got to go back through hell again. So yeah, I was grappling this morning because it is, well, there's 3 parts to it. Doing it over again. The second part is that's actually how you that's how you are successful at anything you do. I'll explain that in a second. Is well, that sucks. like like you really have to keep going. Like that means your whole life is basically the trenches. Your whole life is a struggle. Your whole life is hell, right? So I was like, just thinking about it, I was like, damn, like that kind of sucks when you think about it. But I was able to reconcile it in a little bit, in a way. Have you heard of the fact, like, have you heard of somebody saying success is constant? Like successful, it's a constant thing.
Yeah, I think I've heard that before.
See, happiness and success are different in the sense that happiness is not a constant feeling. Like you're not going to feel happy all the time. You're going to go through all types of different emotions, right? So happiness is different than success. Happiness, you have moments of happiness, periods of happiness, and you enjoy those. And then you try to enjoy all of the other moments and periods of other feelings that you have, that you experience. Where success is different. In my old office, there was a photo up, and the photo said, Success is rented, not owned, and the rent is due every day. Success is rented, not owned, and the rent is due every day. So it's a constant thing that you just have to keep doing. And I'll give you a perfect. If you are successful in a relationship, like a marriage, okay?
Mm.
Let's say you're successful in a marriage. When do you become unsuccessful?
When you get divorced.
Exactly. When it ends, right?
Mm.
It once it's done, you're not successful in marriage anymore. You
Or
may
I guess
have
you're
had in the past,
when there's
pardon
cheating
me,
involved. When there's cheating involved.
as
I
long as
mean,
you're
it can
married,
look
you're still
that way.
successful at being married. You might not be successful in being in a healthy relationship, but as long as you're married, you're successfully married, right?
Okay.
If you are successful in business, let's say for example, when are you unsuccessful in your business?
When that business fail, when you stop making money or
Exactly,
you
when your business
don't
fails,
do anything
right?
with it. Yeah.
So like it's a constant thing. As soon as it stops, it's done. It's over. So my point is that that's why the rent is due every day. And as soon as you stop paying your rent, you don't just being successful, you get evicted, right? And that's the reason why he says that bus thing, right? Where you're happy you won the championship, you're going to the championship parade, and the bus is taking you there. And when you finish at that parade, you go on the same bus, but it just says hell because you got to go back to hell to do it again. Now, how do we reconcile this though? Because then does that scare you?
For
Discourage
me,
you?
yeah, I mean, I would have loved if I experienced a moment of success with something that I wanted to succeed in, that it would just be constant. And like, let's say I created a business and it was just once I hit a level of or hit some kind of success, that it would just stay that way, not me having to experience discovering that form of success over and over again, or having to maintain it, or even discover different other forms of success within that same business. You know what I mean? Should have just been one success, and then that's just it. Everything just smooth sailing after.
Yeah, I know. I get what you're saying. I feel the opposite because that separates people who are doing it from people who are not. I'm not a huge fan of longevity in a lot of things, but longevity in businesses or relationship or like some of these really hard things that you have to successful at is a really, really huge thing, right? That's a big thing. I remember posting when I was in because now I've been in real estate for 17 years, but I remember posting, I think when I was around years, I remember posting that I've been in real estate for 10 years, and I remember saying, this is when I used to be on social media. And then I remember I said, what have you done for 10 years? That was like in my story. And people are like, nothing. Like it's very rare to have somebody stay consistently in one thing for 10 years. But the funny thing is, you need at least 5 to get good at it. Like you might hit, your stride 3 to 5 years in. You might have early successes. Maybe you got lucky with something. I noticed I had a agent one time, and she in her first year she made I think like 250K in her first year, and then her second year she made 30. Right, so you might in the beginning you might hit a lick and boom take off, but really it's going to take you through at least 3 if not 5 years to even hit your stride with consistency. So it is very, very rare to see somebody who's just been doing the same thing for 10 years. That's when you start getting into like the master level of mastery, right?
That's so interesting that you said that though, because when I was in university, one of my lecturers that I admired a lot, she was exempt. She was an exemplary lecturer, but she always used to tell us that she doesn't stick to one thing for more than 4 years. That she always tried to evolve in different ways, and she doesn't allow one thing to just consume her, that like even when at tuition. And I guess she was setting us up because she was about to leave. She was saying, "Oh, I'm on lecturing for 4 years, and I'm moving on to do something different." She doesn't stick to one thing for more than 4 years. So it's interesting that you said that you need 5 years to that.
It's if she's just staying in the education space, then that's different. Just be doing different things in the education space.
Mm.
So I doubt she went to be a farmer after that. You know what I'm saying? Or a mechanic or something, you know.
Mm.
But yeah, so that's what I was sitting there reading that book. I was like, damn, it's a lot weighing on me this week. And that book really, like, this morning when I was reading the book, it was like an echo of my past week from last week to this week because it's been nonstop. I've been on the go. Like my eyes are red because I'm so tired still. And like, you know, I flew out last week straight from the office. I flew out on Friday, I think. Friday, straight from the office. Flew back in from the airport, went straight to the office on Monday or Tuesday, right? I think it was on Tuesday, right? So straight from the office, went to my flight. From my flight, went straight to the office. After that, we had a team dinner that we had to go to. Was exhausted at the team dinner, but you have to be on, right? Time the dinner finishes, it's like 9 o'clock, 10:30. I actually had a really early morning flight, so I didn't even sleep. So I slept maybe 3 hours, and then you go home, you take your shower. Didn't even unpack. Still haven't unpacked, right? And you get up and you get back to it. Like it's just nonstop. Not to mention it's freaking freezing cold outside. And I'm on the subway this morning, just like, oh my gosh, this is a lot. I'm like, this is a lot. It's cold as hell. It's nonstop. It's go, go, go. It's like eat when you can. You know what I'm saying?
Even like a true New Yorker.
It's like force yourself to just show up at the gym and do as much as you can, right? It's like even like just the smallest things, and you're just like, holy smokes! Like, when am I going to be able to just chill? I think I mentioned that to you the other day, because for those of you guys who don't know, C also works for me in my other business as well. But I think I mentioned that to you the other day. I was like, I just need one day to go to like a hotel away in like the woods or something, go upstairs or something, and just give me 24 hours. That's it. That's all I need. Just give me 24 hours to be off the grid and just relax so I can catch myself. But that's that is exactly what we're talking about. That's the grind. That's the hell. So how do we reconcile? Well, there's two things that we can do. We take moments of solace. We take moments of peace. When I originally with a team, um, I would work so hard that I just wanted time off, and I literally took a year off. I took a year, and I did work on my other because I started a new business, so I did work on getting that business started. But I really barely worked for like a year, and it was too long. It was I was only planning to take a couple months. Started traveling, then it turned in 2 months, turned to 4 months, turned to 6 months, turned 10 months, right? So when I got back to it, it was actually a little bit of a adjustment. But I fell behind because I took so much time off, right? So there's ways so you can say, you know what, like a an NBA player, for example, they're on the grind all week, all year, all season, I should say, right? Traveling, spend half their time on the road because half their games are played away. They're practicing and they're working out and all of that kind of stuff. But then they get their off season, right? And then oftentimes they'll take the first month or two weeks or whatever of the off season to just be with their family, to just get away, to just have some time to just not be in hell all the time. And then after those 2 months or 2 weeks or a month or whatever, they get back to it to prepare for the next season. Right.
Yeah.
So that's one way you can do it. You can say, you know what, I'm just going to take this time. I'm going to take this time during the holidays or something like that, just to be out of hell for a bit and just relax. Just don't stay there too long because that's what happened to me. And then it was a little bit hard to get back in. But at that time, I was like, you know what? I spent the last, decade building this stuff. I now have a little bit of a lump sum from selling stuff, and I just want to relax for a bit before I jump into my other business. So there was that. But the other way to look at it is you're going to be in hell no matter what. So you might as well win, even if the win brings you the bus that brings you to the win is the same. The celebration of the win is the same bus that brings you back to hell. Why not just win? Because think about it. Like I said last week or 2 weeks ago on one of our lives, having like being, like, let's say being rich it's very hard, but then being broke is very hard too, right? Like having a good relationship is very hard, but then having a bad relationship is really hard too, right? Like being healthy, eating right, and exercising and stuff like that can be very hard. But then having diabetes or all these other health ailments, that's going to be hard to deal with too, right?
Mm,
So it's like choose your heart. You're going to be in hell anyway. So you might as well get the win.
yeah, I see what you're saying.
There's no
I mean,
escaping this life.
there's some instances where people where you, like, for example, the one that you gave about being in a relationship. You can choose not to be in a relationship.
Yeah,
That way
but
you won't worry
also
about
but also being single is also hard.
for who. Because for somebody who
Being
enjoys
single
their
is hard for many. I just was out a little while ago over the weekend, and there's a bunch of people complaining about being single. They're like, "Oh, dating's hard, blah blah. Dating sucks." Like, I'm serious. I want companionship. So it can also be hard,
yeah.
right? So I'm just saying that, either way, it's not going to be a cakewalk. So once you accept that and you say, I'm going to have to work hard anyway, then you might as well get a win. You might as well say, all right, I'm going to work hard on the right thing so I can win. At least I won. You know what I mean? They have that saying. It's like, if you're going to cry anyway, why don't you cry in a Lamborghini?
Oh, yeah. I see those AI videos on TikTok all the time. They're like with the granny, and they're like, all right, what are some advice that you give? And she's like, um, what did she say? She said, life is, yeah, she said something like that. She said, life is gonna be hard, so why be sad in a, she said, like, some broken down car, like a Suzuki Swift, and when you can be sad in a Lamborghini.
Right. I mean, I think at the end of the day, I think that's the way I reconciled it. Is that first of all, I'm living the dream because the journey is the dream. So first of all, I'm living the dream, even though it's a grind and you get tired sometimes. That's part of it, right? That's part of it. So I'm living it. I'm living exactly what I want to live, which is the dream, because the destination is not guaranteed,
Mm.
right? But secondly, this this I could be doing this or I could be chilling at home. But if I'm chilling at home, I'm not making any progress in the things I need to make progress in. Therefore, my future is going to be doomed. I'm going to be unhealthy. I'm going to be broke, and I'm going to, right? So I just think about it that way, and unfulfilled altogether, right? So it's just like then the depression hits, and then the anxiousness about your life hits, and then you know what I mean. Then you go into a dark place. That's hard too, right? It's also hard. Or you can get up, don't push the loser button. I mean the snooze button.
Loser
do what
button.
you do what you got to do, right? Make your little coffee, take your shower, do what you got to do. Get to the gym, get to the office, get on the live, right? And then get to your appointments right after this, and just do what you have to do. At the end of the day, you're going to be at least be able to say, you know what, I made progress today, and I'm going to be able to close my eyes saying, I'm happy with my efforts. And I do that in enough days, I get the win. And even though the same bus that takes me to the parade for winning takes me back to hell to win again, at least I won. And they don't have to be huge wins, they could be small wins.
It's so funny how you talk about that, Jay, because it reminds me of this video that I actually came across this morning of like some lady. She's just going out, she's going all out and complaining about life. But I feel like I was like, yeah, she has a point. I wanna play this video. So,
Yeah, go ahead.
People try to make you feel bad for the fact that you don't want to work hard in this life. I don't want to work hard in this life. I don't want to have a fucking job. I don't want to need to have to make all this fucking money. But guess what? Another motherfucker decided to give birth to me and put me in this shit. And now I have to fucking do it. Now I have to do it. I never wanted to do this shit. I never said I wanted to do this shit. I never asked for this shit. And then there's always some other motherfucker that wants to pop up and be like, oh, so you think that you deserve this, that, and the third just because you're alive? Yes! Yes! Absolutely! That's exactly what I believe, and that's exactly what the fuck I think. I did not ask to be here. I did not tell anybody that I wanted to fucking be here, yet I'm here. I'm fucking complaining for a goddamn reason. I was put here with no support. I was put here with no knowledge. And then the knowledge that I was given, it's bullshit. It's bullshit to keep you circulating in the same fucking cycle of not getting any fucking where. They did this shit on purpose. I'm being told that I'm supposed to be happy to be given the gift of life. I'm not happy. I'm not grateful, and I don't fucking want it. Never did.
You know what's so funny about that? I used to tell my mother that. My mother used to be like, I do this for you. I come home, I cook, I this. And I said, I didn't ask to be born. Like, I didn't ask to be born.
so
You're doing
like,
what every other mother is doing for their kid,
I
feeding
think
them
at
and putting a
least
roof over their head. I didn't ask to be here.
I think we all at least told once in our lives.
I didn't
That's so
ask to be
funny.
born.
I found a creative way to tell my mom. Like my mom was like, "I carried you for 9 months." That's a common one. I
Oh, my
carried you
mom used to
for
say
9
that too.
months. So
Yeah.
my mom, she's half black and she's half Chinese, right? So I always say, I never told you to like white man because my dad is white. So, so oh gosh.
Yeah. I always I didn't ask to be born, let alone be born to a 17-year-old. Like I didn't ask for this at all. So
Yeah, but I
no,
was like, she has a point.
well, this lady, it does be like that sometimes. You know what I mean? And we get into those moments of like frustration, right? It gets to those moments of frustration. But that's what I'm saying. That's why you work hard so you can be out like that. I got a friend right now. He's out in Europe. He's been sending me some videos and stuff. He's like, "Yeah, come through. I got this villa, um, you know, and we've done work together and stuff like that." And he, I'm telling you, this guy worked so hard to get where he is. And when I met this guy, he was making minimum wage. Okay. And I met him at his job and he's making minimum wage. Now he's one of my best friends. And fast forward 10 years later, he's just now chilling. He's just now has his villa in Europe that he's just enjoying now. But he used to, when I met him, he lived at home. He worked so hard that his mother used to leave food at the door for him, not even open his door because he was just so laser focused on what he was doing and building his business. And his mother wouldn't even knock, just leave food at the door. He would open the door, take the food up, and then go back, eat it, and then put the dishes outside and go back to work. Like that's how laser focused he was for years, 4 years. And I'm like, and I was saying, now you're in the season that I was in, where I can be out, you know, chilling, taking video of sunsets, relaxing, whatever. But you earn that spot right now. You're in that place, and I'm back to the grind, right? So you can also earn those moments, like I was saying, or earn that time where you can also be like, you know what, I'm working up towards this or toward that. And I think a lot of people have that with their children, with their family, all that kind of stuff. Like, and now I'm back. And I was like, I can't just leave like that because I'm building again. So before I was able to leave because I built, and then I reaped off of the benefits of what I built. Now I'm back to build mode, and now you are in the benefits reaping mode, right? So it's not all bad. There are moments of greatness, but I'm gonna just tell you guys right now, never stop growing because life will never stop coming at you. And when you do enjoy moments of greatness, really enjoy those moments, because if you don't, you're gonna wish you did when it gets worse.
Can I just
Because,
say one thing?
pardon me,
Can I just say one thing? It
of course,
sucks having to rebuild or build. You get
maybe
it?
I enjoy building, but also
You get the
there's
reference
sometimes
of
you're
that?
tired. Yeah, sometimes I enjoy building, but sometimes you're tired. Sometimes you're tired. Like sometimes you're just like, holy smokes, there's just so much, and then it's like you did all the work, and then you realize that the workload got bigger somehow. Like you had these many things to do, and you put your head down, you did as much as you could, and when you lifted your head up, now it's this many things to do. It'd be like that sometimes. It does.
Ha.
But look, one thing I would tell that girl, and you should play that video one more time if anybody's just logging in. But one thing I would tell that girl, if I could give her any advice at all, is first of all, I get it. You didn't ask to be born, but also nobody told you it was going to be easy.
Mm.
Nobody said this was going to be easy. As a matter of fact, everybody probably told you you're here and it's going to be hard.
What I hate is that you spend most of your life going to school, and almost all the thing they teach you in school you don't use.
I mean, most of you mean your childhood, not most of your life. Well, you
Well,
spent most of your life because you're
yeah.
younger, but I
I
haven't spent most of my life in school.
spent what, 22 years going to school?
Yeah, I went to school. Oh, you know what? I actually have spent most of my life in school. You're right. In a few years, I'll be on the other side of spending most of my life outside of school. But yeah, now I think about it, if you include
All right, let me
university
play the
too.
video one more time.
Yeah.
People try to make you feel bad for the fact that you don't want to work hard in this life. I don't want to work hard in this life. I don't want to have a fucking job. I don't want to need to have to make all this fucking money. But guess what? Another motherfucker decided to give birth to me and put me in this shit. And now I have to fucking do it. Now I have to fucking do it. I never wanted to do this shit. I never said I wanted to do this shit. I never asked for this shit. And then there's always some other motherfucker that wants to pop up and be like, oh, so you think that you deserve this, that, and the third just because you're alive? Yes! Yes! Absolutely! That's exactly what I believe, and that's exactly what the fuck I think. I did not ask to be here. I did not tell anybody that I wanted to fucking be here, yet I'm here. I'm fucking complaining for a goddamn reason. I was put here with no support. I was put here with no knowledge. And then the knowledge that I was given, it's bullshit. It's bullshit to keep you circulating in the same fucking cycle of not getting any fucking where. They did this shit on purpose. I'm being told that I'm supposed to be happy to be given the gift of life. I'm not happy. I'm not grateful, and I don't fucking want it. Never did.
Which is funny because it looks like she's going on vacation. She got a
I
neck
know,
pillow, she got her
that's what I
headphones,
was,
it look like she's
yeah,
packing, and
with
she's in her closet.
her plane.
Oh man.
Uh,
Yeah,
she
no,
probably
100%.
got news that her flight is delayed or something.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Um, Nurse Space says that's life. You're in the rebuilding stage. Yeah, absolutely. Right. And we get that stuff all of the time. You know, at the end of the day, all we can do is enjoy what we're working on and where we're going. That's it.
Hmm. My
That's it.
coach ministry said mindset and worldview are sometimes a greater independent to Jay than we sometimes realize. The thought that something should be a certain way, focus on what you want and pursue that.
Absolutely. One foot in front of the other. We
Oh,
make
joy.
progress.
Joy, not Jay.
Mm.
Brain is
Well,
triggered that word.
you could really find joy in anything. You can find joy in pain, right? It's just all about the mindset that you choose to have. That's why I always wear that shirt, enjoy the journey, because that's the only thing that is guaranteed is a journey, right? And so if you can find the skill or and hone that skill, right? First you have to find the skill within yourself and hone that skill of being able to enjoy what life is giving you and throwing your way. Your whole entire life will be different. You'll never make a video like that. I couldn't make a video like that because I'm too happy and grateful for whatever I have. And I've found joy in pain many times. It's there because joy doesn't just mean fun, right? Fun is fun, but joy doesn't just mean fun.
Well, you know, like it all falls down to your mindset and your views on things. You know. So
I know everybody says they hate the gym, but they're glad that they went. I probably was that for a long time, but then I found joy. Every rep, I'm enjoying every single rep. Like I find joy in that. You know what I mean? I was able to figure it out, and I think everybody can, to be honest. I'm not so special that I'm the only person that could do it. Everybody could figure that out, or at least
I
peace.
hate the gym, and I've never been glad that I went. Oh gosh, I'm joking. There are times when
Absolutely.
like when I don't take a break and it's constant and then that pain wears off, it's fine. But when I take a break and then I have to go through that pain all over again of like my muscles being torn and stuff like that, then it's horrible because it makes me feel like I have a fever and I feel weak and stuff like that. But yeah, you feel accomplished
100%.
after going to the gym.
Absolutely. But you guys should check out that book, Winning. I know I've talked about it a bunch of times now. It's my third time reading, or maybe even my fourth time reading it. Um, I've read it almost every year since it came out, and I believe it came out late 2020, early 2021, somewhere around that time. I think it was actually midway or late 20. I think it was late 2020, fourth quarter 2020. I think it came out, and it's been I've recommended that book to a lot of my clients, and a lot of my clients have enjoyed that book. So I recommend it to you guys as well. And it just is real about winning. At the end of the day, you have to keep winning. You can't just win and that's it. You've got to keep winning. And even if it's just a small win, it's still going to stack up momentum for you to push you through those times that you feel like that girl over there. Those small wins build up momentum. And yes, that bus that brings you to the parade when you win is the same bus that brings you back to the grind. But that's what we signed up for. And if you're going to have if it's going to be a grind, if life is not going to be, you know, lollipops and gumdrops, and it's going to be a lot of lemons, then you might as well win out of it, right? You might as well get some wins out of it because, like I said, choose your hard, right? Being rich is hard, so is being broke. Being healthy is hard, so is being unhealthy. So just choose your hard and choose to win because it's going to be hard anyway. So we might as well enjoy it. I'll leave you guys with this. It's going to be crazy that I'm leaving you guys with this because it's so negative. But I have some friends, close friends, that have been locked up before. Real time, not just 90 days. I'm talking like nearly a decade. One closest relatives to me did more than a decade. And I remember asking my friend one time, like, it must be those first 2 weeks, huh? That you're just like, yo, what the hell? Like, I'm here, whatever. And he said, you know what? He said, once you realize this is my life, like you get over that part in your mind, like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm here for 10 years. This is it. He said, this feeling of peace comes over you. And he said, those were the most peaceful days of my life, as a matter of fact, because I accepted that this is it. There's no hopes and dreams. This is just it. And I've accepted that this is where I'm at. So I'm going to make the best of it. And he did make the best of it. He came out totally different. He made the best of it. and you found peace in like, hey, I'm here, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do my time, this is my life for the next 10 years, and that's what we're gonna do. So let's be better after this time. And I think one of the things that happens when we don't have that is, especially on social media and speaking with people and meeting people in the world and stuff like that, you always have this feeling like I'm not doing enough, or I don't have enough, or there's more out there, or I'm not on the right path, because you never have any peace that says, you know what, I am where I am. This is where I need to, and I'm going to make the best out of this situation, whether it's a great one or whether it's not a great one. It's going to be better every single day that I wake up, because I'm going to put the work in, and I'm going to be one step closer to those wins. And I think prison does that, because you're in a box and you're locked up, so you don't have a choice, right? So it's much easier to just say, you know what, it is what it is. But when we're in this life, whether you're in a relationship or at a job or in a business, like, there's always another relationship. There's always another job. There's always another business venture. There's always another thing that you can do when you have the freedom that we have in this world. And it's always being thrown into your face. So it's very hard to find peace with the life that you have, right? And so if you can just find peace, say, I'm here, this is it, this is what we got, and then use that as motivation to continue to enjoy every day, then I think that changes everything.
You
All
see,
right? Because getting what you want is not what makes you happy. Trust me, appreciating what you have does.
that I feel like that adds to the point that people are always trying to make when they say you should always stick to a routine, because that's the closest thing to like keeping yourself in a box. And like, if you stick to a routine, that's like, it's helping you to grow, but also limiting your exposure to things that can make you unhappy. Or if you're just focusing on, all right, this is how my day is planned out, this is what I'm going to do throughout the day until I'm ready to sleep, then you don't leave any opportunity for anything else that can mess with your mind.
Right? We live in the age of anxiety because of exactly what you're describing. Because what all anxiety is you have too many options. So anything can happen, right? When you feel worried or anxious, you're worried about any number of a million things happening, right? That's what anxiousness, that's where anxiousness comes from, right? It's just, hey, look, I have all of these options. But if you limit your options, there's nothing to be anxious about. This is it, right? So I think, especially because all of these different options and avenues are thrown in our face all the time, that breeds a lot of anxiousness in this age.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate everybody being on today. Go and be great, guys. Greatness is a choice. You make that choice every moment of every single day. We will likely not be on tomorrow, but we'll be back on regular schedule next week. I was traveling this past week. And so, as you guys know, if you watched the beginning of this live, I wasn't all the way in my regular schedule, but I'm back, at least for the next week or two before we jump into the holidays. All right, y'all. I appreciate you guys joining us this morning. Go and be great.
In the air like a chopper. Hennessy punching Johnny Walker. Somebody tell the police they just can't stop us. Like a helicopter. Spin out your rags in the air like a chopper. Hennessy punching Johnny Walker. Somebody tell the police they just can't stop us. Oh, when me choppers them. 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 Rags with me, flash with me, rags with me, flash with me, rags with me, flash with me. Yo, spin your rags in the air like a chopper. Wave your rags like a helicopter. Spin out your rags in the air like a chopper. Round and round like a helicopter. Spin your rags in the air like a chopper. Wave your rags like a helicopter. Spin your rags in the air like a chopper. High choppers fly helicopters. We drunk cause we drink like a fish in the water. So high is like the world spinning faster. Dripping with sweat but it don't really matter. The music making me ball out. We see ladies and we call out. Them girls and them whining all out. Look a fight in the back, them brawl out. What? Me no business about that. Girls on me mind, so me thinking about that. Woman in the place, so me hunting for that. Bumpers in me face, so me on the attack. Just give me Henny, yo, give me Stack. No racial thing, white oak, Johnny Black. Oh gosh, I gotta catch a jet lag. 1919 does have me feeling high. Like a helicopter, spin out your rags in the air like a chopper. Hennessy punching Johnny Walker. Somebody tell the police